Well, good afternoon, sports fans. We welcome you once again to Joey Sutherland YouTube today. And today we are finally, and let me say this again, we are ecstatic to have you here with us today as it is going to be your Falcons of East Kentwood High School in this swimming and diving match today against our friends from West Ottawa, the Panthers. Again, I'm Joey Sutherland. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. And folks, I don't know what else to say other than it's a crazy time we live in. I'm just glad we were able to finally open the pools, the indoor pools, earlier this week. I'm appreciative that Mr. Brummels allowed us to be able to do this YouTube stream for everybody. But guys, as the aquatics director and assistant AD for East Kentwood High School, I got to tell you, it is it is scary. So us having an opportunity or a release to do this is just wonderful, and I'm so thankful that all of you are going to have a chance to be able to watch your daughters, your granddaughters, your girlfriend, whatever the case is, your friend, your sister, for them to be able to see them and get a chance to watch them compete after all today. So there's no better place to be than the pond, and no better event than we have today. As I said, we are going to have one of the perennial powerhouses in women's swimming, obviously the Panthers of West Ottawa, and your own Falcons of East Kentwood. And Coach Mo is very excited about this team. There's a lot of really good talent, good young talent on this one, and Coach Steve Boyer, he's going to be loaded to bear with West Ottawa. So we're excited about the meet we're going to have. I'll flip it over. We'll go back to the music for a few more minutes. The national anthem will be coming up soon, and then we will get into the swim meet. But again, thank you for joining us here on the YouTube channel and the first swim meet of the 2020 campaign. We'll be back in just a few moments. Keep it here. ready to go. All right, it's always wonderful to hear the legendary coach himself, Jack Ambrose, doing the public address announcing today. If there is anything that's going on in East Kentwood Athletics, it is thanks to the wonderful, tiresome life of Coach Ambrose. He made such a wonderful impact here for us at East Kentwood. But we're underway, and now it's time for some swimming. So let's take a listen to who's in the lanes. All right, as you get a chance to hear Coach Ambrose talk about who is in what respective lane, as we have our finish, it looks like it is West Ottawa is going to be in lanes 5, 6, 7, and 8. East Kentwood is in lanes 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you just are joining us, and we're waiting right now. Here on the final leg coming in, West Ottawa with their first swim. I beg your pardon, East Kentwood. I got to double check that one. It looked like East Kentwood came in second, but it shows East Kentwood with a 157.68 with the first time here for the Falcons out of lane number 4. That would included Wiltrout, Nadolski, McCormick, and Strasser. Congratulations to the 4 of them on taking the first event here. Let's take a look, if we can, over at the scoreboard. I don't really see us being able to give you a great vision of the scoreboard. Yes. And that's what I thought. There was a snafu with the timing system. It had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 exactly backwards. So it was the D1 team of Pike, Swartout, Vera, and Langdon for West Ottawa. So I sincerely apologize. We will correct that before this next event. The next event, as always, will be the 200-yard freestyle. All right, we're doing a quick chest test of the equipment. All right. Looks like I think we've got everything tested, but Coach Graff is in there right now. And looks like good now. All right. I always feel bad about that when we have a technical snafu that we have to quickly go and they're correcting from the first heat. So if you are on Meet Mobile, please show a little patience, as it'll be just a few minutes before we get that corrected. The times will not be correct as of right now. Here we go with the consolation heat, or the B heat, of the girls 200-yard freestyle. This is entirely West Ottawa in this event. We are going to have Megan Rockefeller, Karis Hagland, and Lydia McCourt is in lane 7. So 5, 6, and 7 here, all for West Ottawa in the 200 freestyle relay. Now, if you're new to the sport of swimming, and shame on you for just joining it now, but if you're new to it, each lap is 50 yards. Each time you touch a wall, it's 25. So there will be 4 laps to get the 200 yards here, if you're new to the swimming. And they are right now at the 1/4 way. They just finished the first 50 with very respectable times of anywhere from 31 to 35 seconds. When you start getting into the championship relay, you're going to need a time of under sub 25 to really be a serious threat at the conference or state level. And of course, this is not only our first contest of the 2020 year, but it's the first OK Red conference duel of the 20 season. Yes, it is very unfortunate. We had a couple of the meets had to be canceled earlier because we weren't allowed to have them yet. But now that we are, we're good to go. And again, for all of you athletes that are watching this who haven't been able to compete yet, or are just getting to, I just want you to know, as one father, as one athletic director, as one coach, I feel for what you've gone through, and I respect the heck out of what you've done to continue to keep your safety and your sanity. So congratulations on all of that. All right, we're coming up right now on the last lap of the consolation heat of the girls 200-yard freestyle. And as a lot of people say, this is, you got the core tough swimmers, and the real tough swimmers are the ones who are going to do your 200 freestyle relay, your 500 or freestyle relay, 200-yard freestyle, your 500 freestyle, and your 200 IM. Those are your toughies. And Rockefeller, with a great final 50 of 36.91, takes the consolation heat with a time of 2:22:38. Waiting for McCourt to finish hers with a good finish as well, strong finish. She's going to come in with a time of 2:39:68 for our consolation finals. And now we're getting set for the finals of the 200-yard freestyle. In lanes, again, 1 through 4, it will be Kentwood. 5, 6, 7, and 8 will be West Ottawa. Megan Moore in lane 1. Ella Camp is in lane number 2. Amelia Robbins is in 3. Alana Nadolski is in 4. Lily Brandt will be in 5. Guinevere Grunler is in lane number 6. Maddie Remschneider is in lane number 7. And Rogan McLean will be in lane 8. Quiet for the start. And we're underway. As you can see, coming up on the end of the first lap right here with a very good first split of 27-26. 157.89 is the state qualifier. I would be very impressed if we got a state qualifier today. But stranger things have happened, and there is some very, very good swimmers here today. All right, still on good pace. Brandt right now halfway is at a time of 58.50. That's going to be pretty close to a state qualifying time if she can hold it. We'll see. It's always tougher. It depends on who you talk to. You get some people who say it's Excellent, thank you. You got some people who say your first 100 is the hardest, and others say your last 100 is more of a sprint. So it just depends on the individual athlete. Coming in right now, she's still at 129.77. She's going to have to pick up the pace on this final 50 if she wants to get her state qualifying time. Brandt, though, still with a commanding lead. This looks like it's going to be all West Ottawa here. Nadolski leads the way for East Kentwood with the 3/4 way at 143. Coming in right now, looking to touch out. Brandt, Lily Brandt from West Ottawa hits the wall with a time of 2:0032. Not quite state qualifier, but still a phenomenal swim. Second place is going to go to, from also West Ottawa, Guinevere Grundler with a time of 2:05.77. And in third place, it is Mandy Remenschneider, who's going to come in at 2:11.32. Leading the way for East Kentwood in the fifth spot, it was Nadolski with a time of 2:19.97. Excellent. All right. And now, my favorite event of the evening, and there's only one heat of this. This is the 200-yard IM. This is what separates the studs from average mortal people. If you can do this event and you can do it with style, you have that little extra panache, if you will. I actually love the IMers. Let's take a look at who we got. We got Mayo Wiltrout is in lane number 2. Catherine Langash is in 3. Kaylin Wiltrout is in lane 4. Haley McGinney is in lane number 5. Orina O'Mealy is in lane number 6. Paige Swarthout is in 7. And Ellie Smith is in lane 8. Coming in at the butterfly, the first leg. What's the state time? And the state cut time, if you did not hear Coach Ambrose, is 2:13.29. So this is, as I said, this is nowhere for the faint of heart. This is one where you start out with the butterfly, you come right back with the backstroke, then you have the breaststroke, and you end with a 50-yard sprint of freestyle. And right now, very impressed as Wiltrout with a 1:05.71 leads the way right now as we head into the breaststroke. Was that Kaylin in the lead going halfway? Yes. So the super sophomore for East Kentwood is showing, picking up right where she left off last year. Now, I got to tell you a funny story about the Wiltrout family here in just a moment. As the breaststroke finishes, Wiltrout hits the wall at 1:45.32 going into the sprint. Does she have enough of a lead? She's got about a body lead right now over second place with O'Mealy. Coming up on the flip turn here, it's going to be a dogfight for Wiltrout and O'Mealy as they do the final turns. Coming into the halfway mark, half a lap to go. Who's going to take this one? Wiltrout or O'Mealy? Wiltrout still with about a body length lead. She hits the flags. 5 yards to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hits the wall with a great time of 2:16.42. Only 3 seconds off state qualifier. What a great swim there for Kaylin Wiltrout. The super sophomore for the Falcons takes first place. A good second place finish for O'Mealy. She ends up with a time of 2:18.87. Oh my goodness, what a great swim, man. That just got the juices flowing right there, folks. Now, I said I had a couple stories for you, and I'll get into the stories in just a moment. but 2:16:42. Wow. Okay, so now we're getting into the 50 free. Now these are, again, if you're new to the sport of swimming, this is what's affectionately known as the sprints. This is all the sprints. Just one down and back is all you got to do. One flip turn or open turn, not very many you'll see of those. We will have 4 heats of this. This is the first heat. This first heat will be completely made up of West Ottawa swimmers. Quiet for the start here. Oh, a little bit of... as we got Bierling is in 1, Hogan, Burkholtz is in lane 3, Wilson in 4, Remink is in 5, McAuliffe is in 6, Johnson in 7, and Cruz is in lane 8. Kaylee Cruz is in lane 8. And some good times. Did we get any? We did not get a sub 30 yet. 32:76. I beg your pardon, 32:24 for Remink is going to take first place in this heat. 32:24. Emerson. Okay, I might have had it wrong. I had Emerson Remink in lane 5 with a time of 32:24, had first place. I'll double check that one for you. Now we're up to the second heat. This will have a pair of Falcons in lanes 3 and 4, and then 4 Panthers in 5, 6, 7, and 8. Markovich is in lane 3. Orling is lane 4. Voss for West Ottawa is in 5. Hopkins in lane 6. Sydney Hogan in 7. And Mackenzie Hogan in lane 8. Again, this is just a down and back sprint. Coming to the wall right now. It's going to be close. And it is Hopkins. Hopkins is going to take that one with a time of, and she did break 30. She goes sub 30, so 29.2, a decent swim. That'll bring us into the semifinal relay here of the 50. We got a full house of 8 here. Woodwick, Kaylee Woodwick from the Falcons is in 1. Kayla is in 2. Tessa Brummels, the freshman, is in lane number 3. Gracelyn Hall is in lane 4. Samantha Bolt from West Ottawa is in 5. Alexia Sierra is in 6. Ella McNeely is in 7. And Erica Allen is in lane 8. We're underway, and away we go again, down and back. At the flip turn, hard to see from my angle here. And this one's going to be close. It looks like out of lane 5, I believe it'll be Bolt, but let's watch it finish. And it is Samantha Bolt with a very respectable time of 27:27. Very good time for Samantha Bolt, 27.27. So she'll take first. And now we're to the championship heat of the 50-yard freestyle. And we will have a full house of 8 here in this one. A few of the Falcons weren't ready, and that's a first meet jitter there. You could see lane 1 and lane 2 were a little bit unready. That's Lim in 1. Nettleman is in 2. Gwynn is in lane number 3. Stroster is in 4. Vara for West Ottawa is in 5. Pike is in 6. Allie Langdon is in 7. And Sidhu is in lane number 8. Here they come for the finish. This one's close. And touching it out with a time of 26.01 is Kaylina Pike. 26.01. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sub 27 swimmers on that one. So here's where we switch to diving. We're going to step out for a quick second and get ready for diving. I'll get the diving order and I'll explain it to you in a second. So keep it here and we'll be right back. All right. That is Lily Taylor, who gets scores of 5, 5, and 4.5, the West Ottawa exhibition, for a total of 21.7. And now it is going to be Ella Bentley, West Ottawa. She is actually scoring here. Nice dive here. Looked clean there. Whoa. Is that correct? Yeah. There we go. All right. Yeah. Sometimes you'll see judges vary on the scores, but that one I knew was incorrect. 0.56, 5.5. It was 5.56, 5.5. So nice sweep there by Ella Brentley. Now it'll be Mary Langosh, the Falcon diver. Oh, and Mary hit a very nice inward dive there. With a tuck, her scores 4.5, 5, 4.5 for a total of 19.6. Not quite good enough for first place. Kate Rodenbush, the West Ottawa diver here, is also going to do an inward dive with a pike. Degree of difficulty 1.5. And she hit that one very nicely. Look for scores around 5, 5.5, I would suspect. Oh, 5.5, 6, 6.5 for a total of 27, and it's Rodenbush, who will actually take the lead currently. Here comes a 401B, the exact same dive we just saw. Inward dive with a pike, degree of difficulty 1.5. Hopkins, with the leg race, is able to go in very clean. Let's see what the scores are on this one. Can she beat 27? And she does. 6, 6, 6.5 for a total score of 27.75 and enough to take the lead. And that will bring us to the final diver here in the first round. Brecken Pants from West Ottawa, a 401B, an inward dive with a pike, a degree of difficulty of 1.5. Hopkins on the board. Throws it in, had a little bit of a turn on that one. Let's see how that affects her. I'm thinking that's going to be closer to a 5.5 or a 6 here. And it's going to be 5, 5, 5, 5.5, and 6. So I hit it right on, 27.75. And now we'll head into the second round. We repeat the order. So it will be back to Dischinger. She's exhibition. Here's the 201C back dive with a tuck. Degree of difficulty 1.5. Oopsie poopsie. Oh, need new batteries. Our first event, and we already need new batteries. That's just Murphy's Law. I should have changed them today. Let's look for the judges' scores. 4, 4.5, 4.5 for a total of 41.2. 19.5 on that one. A composite total of 41.2. That's going to bring up Lily Taylor. Her second dive is a 201A. A back dive in the straight position, degree of difficulty 1.7. And nice dive. It was relatively clean, little splash. Didn't quite get the arc that you want to see in that one. Judges scores 4, 4, 4. Triple fours. And that's for 20.4, and that'll bring her total up to 40.8. Now it is Ella Bentley from West Ottawa with a back dive in the straight position. Degree of difficulty 1.7. She's on the board right now. As you can see, hits the water pretty well, nice and clean. Let's see, the score's a little bit higher, I think, than we saw there. I'm looking at 5 to 5.5 here. Judges scores 5.5, 5.5, 5. Oh my gosh, it's like I have ESP or ESPN. That's going to bring up Mary Langosh with her second dive of the evening. It is going to be the 201C with a back dive in the tuck, a degree of difficulty 1.5. Mary on the closest board. First one we've seen to do that today. Nice dive there for Mary. And her scores will come in at 4.55, gets 21.75 and brings her up to 41.35. Katie is up next from West Ottawa. This is a tough dive, 2.2 in the degree of difficulty. It's an inward 1.5 somersault with a tuck, 2.2. It is dive 403C. She hit it pretty good. Let's see the scores. 4.5, 5.5 for 31.9 points, and that brings her up to first place now at 58.9. Leah Hopkins, her second dive is going to be the backward 1.5 somersault with a tuck. Degree of difficulty 2.0. Oh, wow. She was a little bit late on the last rotation there. That'll affect her just ever so slightly, but a good dive nonetheless, and her score will be 5.55, triple fives for 30 flat, and that will bring her up to 57.75, just off the mark at first. The final dive of round 2 is Brecken Pants, and this is another high DD, degree of difficulty, of 2.4. It's the inward 1.5 somersault in the pike. And she finished that one very nicely. Coming off a first dive at 24.75. The second one with judges' scores of 5.5, 6.5, 6.5 for 44 total, and a commanding lead now at 69.15, ending out round number 2. So now we get into round number 3 here. Again, if you're new to swimming and diving, there are 6 rounds here in a dual competition. So we're nearing the halfway mark of diving. This is Dillinger, her third dive. A back somersault with a tuck, degree of difficulty 1.5. Her scores are 5.55 for a 22.5, bringing her up to 63.7. Not bad for exhibition. Lily Taylor right now will do a exact same dive, the back 1 somersault with a tuck, degree of difficulty 1.5. It's dive 202C. And a little bit late on the rotation there, but a nice finish nonetheless. Let's see what the judges score. 4, 5, 4.5 for 20.25. Ups her total to 60.95. The next diver here in round number 3 is dive 5223D, a degree of difficulty at 2.3. It's the back 1 somersault with 1.5 twist free. 5.22.3, and she hit it. Let's see what the judges score. This has a very high degree of difficulty. She can really get some points here if she hit that. 4, 4, 4.5 for 28.75. That brings her up temporarily into the lead at 79.75. Mary Langosh, going into the third round at 41.35, will be doing the reverse dive with a tuck, degree of difficulty 1.6. It's dive 301C. Mary comes off the board, pulls in the knees, hits the water. Minimal splash. It looks like a decent dive. I think you're going to see 5, 5.5 maybe. 5.5, 5.5, 4.5. So that brings her up to 66.15. Nice dive there for the lone scoring diver for the Falcons. Now it is going to be Kate, who is going to do the reverse 1.5 somersault with a tuck, degree of difficulty 2.0. It's dive 203C. As she performs it well, didn't quite get the legs up as high as I think she was looking for there, but again, a very good dive. 5.5, 5.5 for a total of 31, and gives her the lead at 89.9. Leah will be doing dive 5223D, a 2.3 degree of difficulty. Hopkins in the leg brace. Knee brace, I guess. Hits the twist a little bit off center there as she entered the water, but that's such a difficult dive. I think she'll get be very happy with the results. 5.55 for 34.5, and that will bring her up to 92.25 and good enough for first place as we go into the final dive of round 3 for Brecken Pants. And that's dive 104B, the forward double somersault pike, 2.3 degree of difficulty. And she's going right away. And she hit it well, and holy cow, folks, I think that's going to be good enough to take back over first place. Judges' scores. Whoa. 5.5, 6, 6. She gets 40.25 and brings her up to 109.4. And at the halfway mark, she's got the lead as we now head to the fourth round of diving. All right, this is 52.21D for Elena Dischinger, the West Ottawa. A degree of difficulty of 1.7. Not bad dive there. Comes in decent. Not a high DD, but scores of 4.5, 5.5, 4.5, 24.65, and that is going to bring her up to just under 90 at 89.65. Next up in round 4 is Lily Taylor with dive 101B. It's the forward dive of the pike. Degree of difficulty 1.3. She was quick on it there. I didn't even see her do it. Have to see the replay. And wait for the judges' scores. She hit it nicely. Judges are going to award it 4, 4.5, 5. And that'll bring her up to 78.5 for a composite score. Now it's going to bring up Ella Bentley here. She's going to do dive 103B, the forward 1.5 somersault with the pike. Degree of difficulty 1.7, and boy, she was fast too, but she hit that one nice. Maybe a little bit of over rotation there. Let's see what the judges will score. 6.56, 28.9 total, brings her up to 108.65, just off first place. Mary Langash comes in with a score of 66.15 for the Falcons. She is going to be doing a back somersault in the straight position, 202A, degree of difficulty 1.7. As she is on the near board, closest to the judges, the lone diver to hit that board today. Nice, complete rotation. Let's see what the judges score that one. Gets a lot of love from her teammates. 5, 5.5, 5 for 26.35, brings her up to 92.5. That's going to bring up Kate doing the back somersault with a half twist, 52.21D, 1.7 on the degree of difficulty. Gets a couple bounces on the board and enters the water nicely. It was actually kind of funny. If you could see it, her ponytail hit her in the face. But I don't think that'll affect her score. Judges' scores, still waiting. Uh-oh, is it a no dive? Oh, here we go. 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. For a total of 28.05, and that'll put her temporarily at least in the lead with a score of 117.95. Leah Hopkins now for West Ottawa will be doing dive 104C, a forward double somersault with a tuck, 2.2 degree of difficulty. She got it up. Let's see how she finished. Didn't quite go in with that streamlined straight we want to see, but a phenomenal dive nonetheless. And the judges scores a 5.5, 6, 5.5 for a total of 37.4, and she takes the lead at 129.65, leaving it up to Brecken Pants to see if she can recapture the lead. She's almost 20 points off. She will be doing a very high difficult 2.3. It's dive 203B, back 1.5 somersault with a pike. Degree of difficulty 2.3, and she hit it, and folks, she's going to be in the lead. She hit that one well. As Pants' score is, I wonder if they're having some issues with the scoring. 5.5, 5.5, 6 for almost 40 points, and that'll put her up to 148.5 as we hit the fifth round. And that's going to bring us back to the top of the order with Dischinger with dive 103B, 1.7 on the degree of difficulty. Her best dive of the evening by far. She hit that one out of the ballpark. Let's see what Dischinger is scored on that one. 5, 5.5, 5 for 26.35 and brings her up to 114.7. Lily, I beg your pardon, Lily Taylor. I have Lily Taylor on mine, but on the scorebook it says Liz, so I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. She'll be doing 103C, and she hit it quite well. Let's see if she can get over 100 with this. Close, 444, brings her up to 97.7. And that's going to bring up next Mary Langash back from East Kentwood. She will be doing oh no, I beg your pardon. I'm a one diver ahead. We still have Ella Bentley. Bentley is going to be doing 104C. She hits it nice. Had to adjust my script on that one. I apologize, folks. 4.555 for a composite, or excuse me, for a total of 31.9, brings her up to 140.55. Now Mary Langash with the 5221D, back single somersault with a half twist, free, 1.7 on the degree of difficulty. The senior is methodical on the board here. Gets into her position. Now she executes the dive, finishes nicely. I think she'll be happy with the scores. Waiting on it right now. 6.5, 6 for 31.45, and that brings her up to 123.95. The best night of the evening, best dive of the evening also for Langash. Kate is up next from West Ottawa with the 5121D, 1.7 degree of difficulty. That's the forward somersault with a half twist in the free. But now I wonder if they have it wrong, because the dive coach is now looking at the sheet. So now fortunately our main computer operator is also one of the better divers in East Kentwood history for the girls. That of course is, and hold on, what do we got going on? Catherine Aismont, as she's running down to double check. Running the table for us here today, we have the twins are doing it. Catherine and Rachel Aismont. Rachel, who's not able to go back to MSU yet, as they're not allowing the non-grad students on campus. And Catherine is just a lowly old Davenport student here. So, oh, the dive came, and ooh, I think they made her do a dive she wasn't ready to do. Is that going to be a no dive? They're still talking about it. Yeah, that's what I thought too. A little bit of over. So it was that. Okay. That's just an unfortunate situation where you have an error on the sheet, but you can't correct it once the competition begins. So your heart goes out really for Kate on that dive. That's going to bring up Leah Hopkins, who is going to be doing dive 5132D, a forward 1.5. A forward 1.5 somersault with one twist. That was a great dive. I got caught up in looking at it. 5.5, 5.5, 6. And that's going to thrust her into first place with a 167.05. And the last dive here of round 5 is going to be Brecken Pants with dive 5231D, a degree difficulty of 2.1. She's on the board right now. And she hits that one. A very difficult dive. Probably not her best executed so far today, but it should be enough still, and it does. 5.5, 5.5. What do I know, folks? I'm a not diver, not diving coach. 33.6, that brings her up to 182.1 going into the last round. And here we go, the last dives for the crew. This is going to be dive 5121D. A forward somersault with a half twist, 1.7 degree of difficulty. A nice finish there for Dischinger. Dischinger scores are going to be 4, 4.5, 4 for Grand total of 139.95. Excuse me, 135.95. Now Lily Taylor with a forward somersault with a half twist free. Degree of difficulty 1.7. It's dive 5121D. And she finishes her dive. Waiting for the scores. 4, 4, 4.5 for a total of 21.25, and that'll bring her up to 118.95. That'll bring up Ella Bentley. She is going to do dive 5122D with the forward single somersault with a twist, 1.9 on the degree of difficulty. Coming into this last round, she is at 140.55. Hits that one pretty nice. Judges' scores. 5, 5, 4.5 brings her up to 168.1 for a final. That will bring us to Mary Langosh. Her final dive of the evening will be the 103C, a forward 1.5 somersault with a tuck. Degree of difficulty 1.6. Mary back up on the board. She is into the approach. Man, she looked explosive off the boards there. A nice finish for Mary. Judges' scores. 4.5, 4, 4 for a total of 143.95. That's going to bring up Kate, who is I hope she comes and bounces right back after that mistake on the scorecard earlier. This is dive 104C. And boy, she didn't let it bother her. She came right back, hit it well. Final scores is going to be 5, 5, 4.5. And that'll leave her at 149.85. Leah Hopkins will be doing 303C, a reverse 1.5 somersault with a tuck, degree of difficulty 2.1, the same dive that Brecken Pants will be doing next. Oh, I thought she hit the board. Gave me a heart attack. 4.5, 5, 4.5, and that'll bring her up to 196.45 for the night. She needs only 15 points to capture first place here today. It will be Brecken Pants, the exact same dive we just saw, the reverse 1.5 somersault with a tuck. She's on the board right now. Had a bit of a problem on the approach. It looks like she's stuck, but she still hit it more than well enough to take first place and probably break 200 points and then some. She's going to end up with 4.5, 4, 4.5 for 26.25 and 208.35. Brecken Pants will be the champion here today, take first place in the diving. We'll have a very brief break here as we get set back up for to finish diving and come back with the event number 6, the girls 100-yard butterfly. So we will be right back. Keep it here on the YouTube channel. You are watching West Ottawa invading East Kentwood here at the KPS Aquatic Center. I'm Joey Sutherland. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back with swimming in just a few moments. All right, sports fans, Joey Sutherland back with you. And while we have the swimmers warming up, if you joined us late and you may have missed an absolutely beautiful, moving tribute before the national anthem by our public announcer and legendary coach of East Kentwood, Jock Ambrose, let me take an opportunity here for those of you joining us, um, if I can try to keep my composure here, and just do a quick shout out to both the two people that just meant so much to either the sport or to the to East Kentwood for that matter. And I don't even know where to start. I'm going to start out with Don Kimball, who is just an absolute icon in swimming in the state of Michigan, especially in West Michigan. And Don passed away over during the COVID situation. And boy, our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. But for me personally, let me say I've always had nothing but admiration for Coach, for Don Kimball in his career. But this last year, with him coaching with Davenport, I got a chance to really get to know the man, and just an amazing person, and I will miss him dearly. So thank you for everything. And then the second one, and this one's going to be a little bit even more difficult for me. East Kentwood lost one of our just amazing folks, and that is the only athletic trainer we've had in the last 28, the only full-time athletic trainer that we've had in 28 years, and really revolutionized training and was more than a trainer. He was like a coach and everything else, and that's of course Dan Chaplin. We will miss him more than words will ever say. So with that, folks, we're back to swimming here as the girls are up on the mark. We've got in lanes 2, 3, and 4 from East Kentwood, Megan Moore, Mary Langosh, and Caitlin McCormick is in lane 4. Guinevere Grunler is in lane 5 for West Ottawa. Orena O'Mealy is in lane 6. Kendall Vera is in lane number 7, and Claire Johnson is in lane 8. This is 2 laps of the butterfly, as we are nearing the halfway mark right now, and a very good tight swim coming in. At the halfway mark, the time right to beat is just under 30, 29.55 for Vera. Impressive right now. As we're hitting the final wall coming up on the home stretch. Here they come. This is the fly. So if you can fly, I believe you can fly. And here they come in all the way to the wall. It looks like West Ottawa's got 1-2. Can the Falcons sneak in third place here? It's going to be close. They do go 1-2. Wow, what a great finish at 103.13 for Grunler. Second place is going to go to Vera with 103.36, but in third place, it's Caitlin McCormick with a time of 105.22. The time there was 103.13. 103.13. Yeah, I thought that one looked finished, like a good legal finish, but we'll double check, get back to you. Next up will be event number 7, and we will have 4 heats of the 100-yard freestyle. So, folks, while I have a chance here, I told you I was going to tell you one of my favorite stories of COVID. If there is such a thing as a favorite story or an interesting anecdote that took place during the COVID, but I have to give credit to to one of our families here for East Kentwood, which actually has not one but 2 swimmers right now on the team, is a freshman and a sophomore, and that's the Wiltrout family. Kaylin being the super sophomore. We'll see her in the 4th heat here of the girls' 100-yard freestyle. But in the midst of not being able to go anywhere to swim once we got to March 13th and everybody had to John Travolta Bubble Boy or Boy in a Bubble and isolate ourselves from the world. Mr. Wiltrout in his garage built a flume. I guess that's the best way I can describe it. If you're not familiar with what a flume is it's almost like a treadmill for swimmers. Now we sometimes call it an infinity pool or something along those lines. But he took an above ground like hot tub, just enough for one person to be in it, set a jets on it so it could go, and he was able to let his daughters swim in this, I call it a water version of a treadmill. And they were swimming through the whole thing, and Mr. Wiltrout built it. So just an absolutely amazing contraption there. Still coming up here on the first heat. This is Cruz, Hogan, Johnson, McAuliffe, and Bierling, all from West Ottawa here in the first heat. And winning this one, it's going to be Cruz, Kaylee Cruz with a time of 1:19.28. Nice swim there. 1:19.28 was good enough for first. Now in this one, there will be 4 more Panthers and a pair of Falcons. Sophia Markovic for East Kentwood will be in lane number 3. Faith Orling is going to be in 4. And then for West Ottawa will be Mackenzie Hogan, Emerson Riemink, Sophie Burkholtz, and Natalie Wilson in lane number 8. Ooh, I saw it again. Yeah, I know. Well, I'll check on it after we can. I've seen you, but there's not a lot I can do right now, but I'll look into it afterwards. I apologize, folks. Sometimes I talk to the officials or other people in my real job capacity as aquatics director and assistant athletic director for Kentwood. So when the officials were talking to me, just a little equipment snafu we got to work on the starter system. That she's having a hard time getting it to start. So as we're coming up on the final lap here of the girls, second heat of the girls 100 freestyle. This one is really going to come down to the last 10 yards here. Coming up on the flags, though, it looks like it's once again going to be 1-2 West Ottawa. And it will be taking it out of lane number 6. That's Riemink, Emerson Riemink, who will have a time of 1:12.36. And she out-touched her teammate, who came in with a time of 1:13.38. So about a second difference between first and second place. Orling for East Kentwood with a very nice time of 1:20.52. Good enough for 5th place. Some good swims all around there. All right, for the third heat, we have Kolosik is in lane 1, Woodwick is in lane number 2, Brummels is in 3, Nadolski is in 4, all for East Kentwood. Then McNeely for West Ottawa, Allen, Hagland, and McCourt, all for the Panthers in 5, 6, 7, and 8, respectively. We're underway. Coming up on the first flip turn. At the halfway mark, about to hit the wall. Looks like it's going to be in the consolation heat here. It is McNeely from West Ottawa at 29.5 at the halfway mark. Allen just off the mark at 31.05. Nadolski for East Kentwood leads the way at 35.62, followed by Brummels at 38.47. Oh, and I beg your pardon. Kolosik had a very good time as well, and I missed that one just because of the lane. Let's see who's going to end up here. Taking the heat with a time of 103.37 is McNeely. Ella McNeely, 103.37. Nice swim, though, for Kolosik. She's going to end up at 112.02. And what was Nadolski, 117.04. All right, so great swims there, but that's going to bring us up to the championship heat of the ladies 100-yard freestyle. Gracelyn Hall will be in lane number 1 for the Falcons. Kayla Weldon is in lane number 2. We have Gwynn will be in lane number 3. Kaylin Wiltrout this time. In lane number 4, Brant, Langdon, Sadu, and Sierra for West Ottawa are in 5, 6, 7, and 8. And they're underway. 54:49 is the time you need to qualify for state. That is a lickety split time. Coming up on the halfway mark right now, and we have got a dogfight at the halfway mark. At the flip turn, it is 26.26 for Brant. Wiltrout just off the mark at 26.66. Less than 0.4 of a second separates first and second as we come up to the third wall, and we will head to the final sprint on the way home. Who's going to take the 100-yard freestyle? Down the stretch they come. Holy cow, this one is a good race. It looks like they're pulling away just a little bit, but Wiltrout, she's still got a little bit of giddy up and go. She's trying to out-touch her. It goes to the wall and just winning with a time of 54.11 is Brant. And that is a state qualifying time. Holy cow. 54.11 for Brant, who not only wins the heat, but she qualified for state. Wiltrout just off the mark for state. 54.84 is Kaylin Wiltrout. I will tell you this. I don't know if the sun will come up tomorrow. I don't know if I've got the COVID virus, but I will guarantee you that Wiltrout will make state within 2 more swims of the 100-yard freestyle. What an exciting event there. Now, this might come as a shock to most of you, but here is the longest event of girls high school swimming, the 500-yard freestyle. And as I said, yep. Oh. Just getting clarification from the officials. They can only have one lap counter, not any additional cheers. So anyway, this is the 500-yard freestyle. This one, even the best swimmers are going to take about 5.5 minutes here. Yep, now the coaches are letting them know. And it's probably freshmen. They mean well, but... And this is, again, folks, the first swim meet for some of them of their career. So we're going to have a lot of fun here. Coach Ambrose, who is he's our public address announcer. He's walking over there to inform some of the people of the rules here, as we did get clarification from the officials. And we have Allison Lim is in lane number 2. Amelia Robbins is in lane number 3. Ella Strasser is in lane number 4, all for East Kentwood. In lane number 5, it is Haley Magini, and then Maddie Remenschneider is in lane number 6. Megan Rockefeller is in lane number 7, and Rogan McLean is in lane 8 for West Ottawa. All right, that is the first lap. That's 50 yards. Only 450 to go, or lap 1 of 10. you got to have a little bit of extra in the tank for this one. And it's really funny. Somebody would ask, Coach, how do you pace yourself for the 500 free? There are two things that you can do wrong in the 500 freestyle. Number one, you can get out too fast. You can try to get like if your fastest 50 time is a 24, you don't want your first 50 of a 500 to be 24.5. You need to get a good pace, something that your first 50 and your last 50 can be just as good. But I've also seen people completely mess up a 500 by going too slow in their first few 50s. And folks, we already talked about the counters there, but that's one of the huge points. You want a good lap counter to pace you, who knows what you can do. They'll help you through it. And I remember one of my favorite stories was now one of my favorite cadets right now, and that is Tate. When I had an opportunity to pace Tate in his 500 back when he was one of the boys, it was just a wonderful. And there's the thing about it, if you know the person, you can push them a little bit more than they think they can do because they're not watching the time. So you just got to keep them on a good pace, and it's one of the things that I love the most about the 500. 5:17.05. I was actually going to ask him about that. Now think about that, folks. That means you're going at a pace of about 103 per 100 or 31.75 per 50. You are really consistent and really fast, because I would challenge anybody who wasn't a competitive swimmer to get on the blocks and just do a 25 and go at the pace you need to hold that, which would be at about just under 16 seconds per 25. I don't see it happening. And that's even giving you the blocks. We're coming up on the halfway mark. And folks, I haven't brought this up yet today either, but obviously with the new rules for competition, each participant and coach is only allowed 2 people to watch at live events. And some pools don't even get that. My understanding right now is Granville doesn't even get to have spectators at their pool.
If you bring the other people in and they turn about their back and close their eyes.
Coach Ambrose said, what if they come in but turn around and close their eyes? I say go for it, but nobody listens to me. Well, Steven, but that's it. Good swims coming up right here now, folks. For those of you that are watching from West Ottawa, sorry you weren't able to come, but I'm glad you're able to watch this and enjoy. I grant you this isn't exactly ESPN coverage with the cameras that we have and the announcer that you have, but I hope it at least allows you to at least experience and be able to have a conversation with your loved one who's at this event right now participating. Also, for the East Kentwood faithful that aren't able to come here, we'll be back here once again next week. I'll be doing the Caledonia. Coach Ambrose won't be here, but which is sad. But we will be here as East Kentwood will be hosting Caledonia's tri-team next Wednesday, same 6 o'clock starting time. Mike Broach will be my camera operator. I'll have 2 or 3 cameras next week, so it'll be a much better presentation next week, I hope, and we'll be excited for you. I don't know how we'll get anybody even close to Coach's pulse or panaz that will be able to come and do our public address announcing, but I'll start working on that first thing tomorrow. And again, thank you all for tuning in and suffering through this broadcast of me talking the whole hour and a half. That horn tells you, know that we didn't have a hit and run. It tells you that they're on the last lap. And that is right now, Magini from West Ottawa is coming in at the presently. She was right around 5:08.78. She's not going to quite be good enough for state qualifying time, but it's going to be a great swim nonetheless. Out of lane 5. Let's see where she's coming in at. She is just coasting, nicely gliding in. And she will hit the wall with a time of 5:42.82. 5:42.82 for Haley Magini. That's good enough for first place. Second place will be Ella Stroster with a time of 5:55.15. And then in third place is going to be Remenschneider, Maddie Remenschneider, with an also decent time of 6:01.39. And now we're coming up to our second of 3 relays on the evening. This is what's affectionately known as the sprint relay, or the 200 freestyle relay, 4 swimmers, each doing 25 yards. And we will have, and there's only one heat of that, so we'll have that coming up here in just a second. Allison Lim still trying to finish her swim here. And I love that the crowd is really cheering for her still. You know, and that's the thing about swimming that's so wonderful. It doesn't matter if you're the fastest or if you're somebody who's trying to improve their skill. Both teams have a tendency to cheer for everybody. And I'll let you in on a little secret. Steve Boyer has a real tight kinship, if you will, with Coach Ambrose. And I can tell you that both of these teams, led by Coach Boyer for West Ottawa and Coach Steffens, Mo Steffens for East Kentwood, are huge when it comes to both sportsmanship and celebratory of not just their own swimmers, but the opposing teams. And you gotta love that. You just gotta love that. Okay, so we have A, B, and C for East Kentwood and A through E for West Ottawa. So 3 for the Falcons, 5 for the Panthers. The Panthers will have lanes 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. EK will be in lanes 1, 2, and 3. This is the sprint relay, or the 200-yard freestyle relay. They're underway, and they're off. 4 50-yard sprints for each swimmer. We'll take a peek at this one. $141.86, I believe, is the time. All right, coming up on the third swimmers here. Nice exchange there, and that is a real important part here, is the exchange between the two swimmers. Now, you don't want to be DQ'd and leave too early, but you also don't want to still be standing on the blocks when your teammate is already getting out of the water. It is a very fine line of jumping the gun and not jumping quick enough. Oh, I was close. 141.89. I looked at it upside down. I had 8.6. So 141.89. And let's see, coming in right now. It's going to be close, but not quite state qualifying time. First place with a time of 145.85 is the West Ottawa A out of lane 4. 145.85. And that is the team of Brandt, Langdon, Sidhu, and Grunler. The top Falcon score was 155.76. And that was out of lane 3. So that's Gwynn, Langash, Camp, and Robbins. Great finish as the last two swimmers come in, and event number 9 is in the books. Next up, event 10 and 11 are respectively the 100-yard backstroke and the 100-yard breaststroke, both with just one heat. And it will be 4 and 4. So it is Kolasic in lane 1, Nadolski in lane number 2, Langash is in 3, Alana Nadolski this one, Annie is in 2, Alana's in 4. And then we have, for West Ottawa, Pike is in 5, Claire Johnson is in 6, Elizabeth Hopkins is in 7, and Emily Voss is in lane number 8. This is the 100-yard backstroke. The swimmers will start in the water. Sorry, I thought you did too, actually. All right, the swimmers enter the water because, again, they'll use the backstroke starter in here. You want to get a good arc here as you explode off the wall, and we're underway. 2 laps, 4 lengths of the backstroke, the 100-yard backstroke. All right, and the state qualifying time, wow, 1:00:69. I'm here to tell you, folks, that's pretty fast. And in the lead at the halfway mark, it's so great that we're back to competition here. Coming in right now with a commanding lead and going to win this one going away out of lane 5 is Pike. Pike's time will be 1:04:95. Kalina Pike with a time of 1:04:95 takes first. Johnson with a time of 1:10:19 gets second. Nadolski from East Kentwood, Langash from East Kentwood will get third with a time of 1:10:76. Just getting out touched, actually. Kalina Pike with a 1:04:95. A nice swim there. Now up next will be the 100-yard breaststroke. Elena Nettleman will be in lane number 1. Maya Wiltrout is in lane number 2. Ella Camp is in 3. Caitlin McCormick is in lane number 4, all for East Kentwood. Then we have Paige Swarthout is in lane number 5. Samantha Bolt is in 6. Ellie Smith is in 7. And Sydney Hogan is in lane 8. 2 laps, 4 lengths of the breaststroke underway right now. Getting ready to hit the first wall. And off the first wall, it looks like it was Swarthout from West Ottawa in lane 5. Coming up on the halfway mark right now. .108.69. I have to tell you, folks, I'm finally excited. There's a state time I could have actually swam in high school. That's the first one. The first state time I could have made. Coming up right now, on the turn right now, it is Swarthout with a comfortable lead. Out of lane 5, that is Paige. She has got a body length lead. The fight's going to be for second place. Who's going to get this one? This is real close. 1:14.93, followed by 1:17.86 for Bolt. And in third place, McCormick with a time of 1:18.15. And folks, we have come down the final race, and actually usually one of the most fun races, and this is the 400-yard freestyle relay. And it will be 3 teams for Kentwood in lanes 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8 will all be West Ottawa. The Kentwood A relay is in lane 4. The West Ottawa A is in lane 5. And we are underway, the last event of the evening. Each swimmer has to swim 100 yards. Look at Coach Mo. She is so excited. And she cuts in front of us. I love that. I'm going to actually sneak over there and... Did we mess with it? Nice job today, young lady. Again, I can't get over what a decent crowd we have, knowing we're only allowed to give 2 tickets for each swimmer. But in fairness, West Ottawa has like about 300 swimmers on their girls' team. A nice exchange, and then a little slow on the exchange. And again, folks, this is the first event, or the first race of the year, and for some of the swimmers, they've only been on an indoor pool for 1 practice. I got to check with Coach Boyer on how much his girls have actually been in inside pool. Obviously, nobody was allowed inside pool until Wednesday, but let's see if they were practicing at an outdoor pool. I'll try to get a quick moment here with coming up right now. Good. You're doing fine. Sometimes I've actually used you so I could get a drink of tea or something. So I officially gave Coach Jack Ambrose color commentator credit, aside from being the public address announcer. I said I officially gave Coach Ambrose color commentator credit, aside from being the public address announcer. And folks, I'll tell you, and this isn't me kissing up to the legendary coach himself. It is always a privilege for me to work with my one of my dear friends and mentor, Coach Ambrose. So, coming up on the last lap right now. What's the state time on this one? 3:43.99. Yeah, I have it. I just forgot to print it before. I think I have it printed out on my wall. Boink. The last leg here for West Ottawa in first place right now out of West Ottawa A. That is going to be Grunler, Pike, O'Mealy, and Brandt. Brandt, the anchor swimmer right now. She's coming up on her halfway mark. I don't know if she's got enough to get the state cut. No, she's not going to be. Well, it'll be close. It'll be real close if she's got enough for the. I think she's going to be about 3 seconds off.
You have to go 40 seconds.
Oh. Okay. All right, maybe not. But yeah, we're already at the state cut time now. So. All All right, in first place, 3:51.63. And in second place, who got it? It is the Falcons with a time of 4:06.74. Kaylin with her last 50 with a time of 29:59. The anchor, that's Kaylin Wiltrout. Some good swims there as the last few swimmers coming up. Now, folks, I'm going to tell you this again. This has been a fun meet. It's just great to have everybody back. But if you are not only watching us on YouTube, but also following on... we still have one more swimmer going. But if you're also following us on Meet Mobile, you might see that this score is a little bit on the one-sided. And the last one coming in out of lane 2, the C relay for the Falcons of Lim, Weldon, Nadolski, and Brummels. All right, that's going to finish up here today. Yes, just a great first meet for everybody, but the best part of today's meet wasn't if you won or lost. It wasn't how many points you scored, but folks, doggone it, the best part is that we were able to say, screw you, COVID, we're back in the water. And so for every one of these girls that was able to participate today, congratulations, because you got to do something people in the spring didn't get to do. You got to compete. So for that, it's amazing. It's a great night tonight. Some good swims. Some work to be done for both teams, but overall, as I said, it's just a wonderful afternoon, evening of a swim meet because people got to compete. All right, you guys have been stuck listening to me for a little over, what are we coming at? Just short of an hour and a half. So while I sincerely want to thank all of you for joining us here tonight on my YouTube channel. Again, our friends over in West Ottawa, thank you for your patience. I know I might be a little bit homer or one-sided here. It was certainly never intentional, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for your girls in the swim. But for my beloved Falcons of East Kentwood, I hope you join us again next week as the two teams, and this is going to be a little bit disappointing. They have to do a congratulations without contact. So you can wink at the person as you pass them, or you can mime a hug or a high five. I hope nobody mimes like a Lucy and Charlie Brown with pulling out the football. But as long as you mime the thing, and everybody has to be masked up when they shake hands. And if you don't have a mask, one of the athletic trainers will come by with mace and spray you in the eye because you didn't have your mask on. So it is just that important that you have your mask when you are congratulating the other team. Okay, I might be kidding about the mace, but you never really know. All right, folks, I was trying to wait for the fake congratulations to come up, but maybe we're not doing it. It was long distance air fives. So we're going to cool down right now. So I guess what, folks, that's going to just about do it here today from East Kentwood. Again, a big thank you to both Steve Boyer and the West Ottawa Panthers for some great swims tonight. And, of course, to Coach Mo and the Falcons, all of our timers, all of our scorers, our timers, our meet officials, our table operators, of course, Coach Ambrose, and everybody else for making this possible. That's going to just about do it here tonight. Once again, I'm Joey Sutherland, and understand, if you want to watch it again in the replay, you're more than welcome to do it. But we're going to sign off for here until next Thursday when the Falcons of East Kentwood do battle with the tri-team of Caledonia South Christian and Lowell. I want to thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, stay sane. We are out of here.